Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we've got Franky in the shop. As you can see, not just a little project either. We got another block hanging out over here. This is the replacement block. Story time. Let me show you the crack. First crack anyway. Can we see it? Right here. All the way up. Now that crack's not an issue. That's just fine. I mean, honestly, you could just put some JB weld on that, call it a day. However, the problem was we were getting large amounts of antifreeze in the engine block. As far as I could tell, it was not the oil cooler, but we'll pressurize it and make sure that it's not the intercooler, because this is 433i. It has the intercooler on it, turbo intercooler, and that is exactly what this block is, 433i. However, I'm pretty sure that we're getting it's going to be cracked right on the inside here. When we get this flipped over, we'll look at that, and that'll be coming real soon here for you guys. So we'll see what's going on. If there's no cracks on the inside, I'll probably end up repairing that and putting it for sale as a good block. Either way, we'll go from there. This block over here was good. Somebody had taken the crank out of it and a couple other things. The head was gone, but here we are. So the story behind this: when I added the live hydraulics to this tractor, any of you guys that don't know, this is Franky. The engine is out of a 6080. They used the 433 in a 6080. This one's actually out of an F3 combine, as far as I know. It's got live hydraulics from a 190 on it. That's spool, hydraulic pump from 190, steering and everything off of a 190. It's a very ugly tractor, and it's just perfect. Love it. Love this tractor. Anyway, when we did the live hydraulics on this, obviously we had to change the timing cover over to a 190 mounting plate and timing cover up here. So we had drain antifreeze and all that, and at the time when I went to go get antifreeze, Peak was on sale. Didn't think anything of it, and it was 50/50 Peak, and it turned out to be cheaper than buying the full strength at the time because of the sale. So we bought that, put it in this block, and didn't think anything of it. Of course I didn't test it. Why would you do that? I guess I've never had anything like this happen to me. That's why I didn't test it. So anyhow, next spring I got it out, and this is what I find. Water in the engine block and all that, and then of course I test it. At that point I test the antifreeze, and it was only good to 10 above. And now it was all completely dry, and we never had water in it to begin with. It was pure antifreeze before we did that project, and used 50/50 pre-mixed Peak, as I said. And yeah, 10 above is not enough for around here. January, early February, it's not uncommon for us to hit 25 degrees below, or better. I mean, there's times where we've been 40 below around here. It's just how it is. So we froze the block, cracked the block, and it would just be amazing if that intercooler wasn't screwed up as well. Somehow the radiator survived. It's not leaking. Don't know how, don't ask, don't know. Good thing about the intercooler is, where I got this block, the intercooler is still there, and it is for sale. I just didn't take it with me because I don't know. Debating, this tractor doesn't even need the intercooler, so I'm debating just putting the intake back on it without the intercooler, and then the intercooler wouldn't be sticking out of the side tin here, and make it a little less ugly, I guess. But whatever, that's part of what makes Franky Franky, in my opinion. So anyhow, this is where we got yesterday. This was a complete tractor yesterday. We drove it in here. The thing ran fine. It's like I said, getting water down in the engine oil. And we're gonna basically take the internals out of that, put it in this block. Now this block over here, I'm gonna do a light honing. However, I can't even catch the lip here. Pistons were like new. They were rusted a little bit, but as you can see, they cleaned up real good. There's a little bit there that, you know, there'll be a stain there that the honing will take a little bit out, but actually these feel like they're in better shape than the ones that I was running. So I'm not going to switch sleeves or anything like that. It saves me the money of the O-rings. But we got to get the timing, you know, all the timing stuff off of it. The cam was good in this. That's a plus in this engine, which that's something that goes bad often. The cams in these, they usually this lobe, front lobe, in the 60, 80s and stuff, it's an issue with them for some reason. I don't know, it might have something to do with the fact that there's no oiling hole back on this bearing race. I don't know. It's funny design, but that's how they were. So, anyhow, moving on. When I overhauled my 60-80, the cam in it was it was questionable. Still within specs, but that was it. It was, I mean, it was right there. So anyway, I'll be using this cam in that, and I guess you guys will be seeing how to do that without taking the head off. I'm sure some of you know, but anyway, we'll be doing that. All I need is a timing cover gasket when I go to do that. So it's not a big deal that I got to do it. But either way, this video is about Franky here. So we'll see what I get you. I'll definitely show timing on the pump and stuff. These engines are kind of dummy proof. Everything's labeled 1, 2, 3, 4 on all, you know, all your caps. Everything's labeled. You know, crank side, it's just kind of slap this engine together. It's an easy one to work on. So I'm gonna get to work. How about that? When I get the crank out of here and find the crack, we'll talk about that and see where this video brings us. It's all back together. I didn't get a lot of footage of it, but just slapping the motor back together. You guys have seen that on my channel many times. The problem with it, in the oil passage of the number 2 main rod bearing, I could look in there with the light and I could just see the crack, but there's no way I was going to get it on film. But basically it was cracked up inside of the oil passage. Basically on the opposite side, the oil passage runs down. It was like back in here inside of the block, it was cracked. Cut a window out and fix it, I guess. Take a sleeve out of it and possibly get to it. But I'm not really worried about that block because we got this one. So it's back in there. It's running great. Runs as good as it did before everything happened. So that situation's over. No harm, no foul, I guess. If we forget how much it costs for the block, yeah. But then we moved on, working on tin work. This side is, we're done welding and stuff and grinding. Be sanded. A little bit of Bondo work around that, just to fill in a couple of the little cracks there. And it'll get painted for whatever reason. I don't know, we're not painting the whole thing. I don't have time. It's getting to be about that time of year I need to be in the field, but getting things ready. This side doesn't look too bad. It's about what I had in mind when I built the tractor. Don't make fun of me too much. doing tin work is an art form, and I'm not an artist. So I also did some changing on the tin work, a little bit of modifications, got everything in line. So now we've got the 1/2 inch extra. This tractor's supposed to bolt. This would be butted up to here instead of having the plate in here, but I just didn't worry about it. My plan was always to get another battery. Jesus. Good morning, guys. I'm still working on my first cup of coffee. Anyway, my goal is to get another tank strap, and I'm gonna cut it and fill in that gap there, weld it together. That way it'll look like it's right. The other option would be to grind all that out. We'll take that out and cut that off of there, and I don't know, I'm not that worried about it. It doesn't need to be perfect. It's Franky. Did a little bit of work. I used to run a cable for the throttle. I bent a rod back there. Hooks right in, just like we did on the Pullen 19 and the 17 with the 301. Well, the 19 with the 426, 17 with 301. That works really good. It's amazing how nice that works, like it's meant to be that way. I have side tin for it. I think I'll put on the other side. I'm not sure about this side yet, because there's some wiring that I should do. I don't know. It's getting time that I need to be thinking about getting in the field, so some of this stuff's gonna have to wait, because honestly right now I could put a muffler on this thing and it's gonna function and do everything that I need it to do. Here I am worried about making it look pretty. Anyway, lights up on the front. Decided to mount them here because I don't have to get to this power steering reservoir anymore, because I got obviously hydrostatic off of the pump. So we bolted the lights there, and I really like them because they just angle out just about the perfect direction, and then these you can angle whatever direction, and they're pretty bright. I mean, you can imagine the phone's picking that up in the middle of the day, what they're going to be like at nighttime. And I've got a couple back here. In order to be legal on the road, this one needs to be, I need to be able to turn it red, so I'm looking for a light that can flip a switch, and then it'll be a red light. And then it'll be on the switch with these, so that I'm not blinding people going down the road. We've been working on leaks, getting everything sealed up, and I promise you we got everything sealed, and this thing started leaking. Why not, right? I have another one. It's not a big deal, I guess. What I do is I'll take it out to the ditch out there once I get it running, and we'll park it down in the ditch. That way all the fluid's leaning forward and I don't have to drain the fluid. Works out pretty good. So yeah, that's where we're at. I got a bunch of grinding left to do up here, as you can see. We had a little bit of warp, of all places, on that stupid circle. I did all of this welding. I did all of it, and didn't have anything warped. Took my time with it. This circle, I came back to it 4 times, and I guess I should have came back to it 7 or 8 times, because it ended up warping that up right there. But once I get that sanded down, I'll be able to get that flat again. It's not a huge issue. It's just, what the hell? Look at all that welding. Everything went good, and then that little circle got me. So yeah, like I said, finish work on this. We'll see how far I get on it. I really don't know if it's going to get painted or not. We'll see. We will see. Well, there's that side. Looks pretty darn good. The camera's hiding some imperfections, of course. You can kind of see right here, there's like some rust pitting that we didn't fill in with the Bondo. We just not that worried about it. Wasn't even going to paint it, but here we are. It's painted. The rest of the tractor's ugly. Here's this side. Happy with how that turned out. I've dabbled with tin work some, but not very much. And yeah, like I said, I'm pretty happy with that. Couple of goofballs in a garage. I think that'll work. Look up here at the holes that we filled in. Looks really nice. On the inside here, you notice the paint, it's high temperature manifold paint inside of there. It's a different color. It looks a little funny. I've got a little bit of touch up to do. Clips are hard to get painted without flipping them up and then having a spot up here, you know. So anyway, we just got to touch that up. To wait 24 hours from when you paint it. You guys know how paint works. Let me step back here though. I think that'll do. Imagine the rest of it was painted, but just don't have time. It's time to get out in the fields, and I've got a couple of tractors that, well, the big tractor 7060, got to swap the head over on it. Not a big deal, but I can't be spending my time painting this tractor for no reason. It's completely functional at this point. It's going to do everything that I want, and the fender isn't flopping around anymore. So it'll look a little funny with this bright orange fenders on it, but yeah, we can imagine. So this is where I'm going to end this. Be seeing this tractor, I guess, first time maybe during plow day. Maybe not. We'll see what's going on. I got that 3-bottom turnover plow that I'm going to run on this. And that's obviously throughout the year there's plenty of other things that'll be doing too. The weight rack will be real nice, especially with the brush hog back there, and it's just going to be nice. So I'm happy with it. I'm real happy with it. We spent more time on that tin work than we did the engine, but like I said, I'm happy with it. A little bit of touch-up paint. Yep, doesn't look as cobbled together anymore, does it? So I appreciate everybody for watching. And if you guys enjoyed this one, give it a thumbs up, comment. I'll have a plow day announcement coming soon. And I hope to catch you guys all in the next one.